Welcome to episode 112 of Masters of the Forge. I'm here with Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Adam. How you doing?
I'm doing. How are you?
I am also doing. Yeah. How are you?
Yeah. You know, take me to church. It's been quite a week.
Yeah.
Or 3 since we've recorded last. So, apologize for that, folks. I had my 10-year-old Mac finally gave up the ghost. It died.
Yeah.
And it took a little bit of effort to get going here. Jason and I are actually talking over the telephone, which is interesting.
And
not to worry, we're each recording our own audio here, but we're going to have to get that figured out for David when he comes on next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna have to figure something out there. I'll figure it out. And I just it's just funny. I'm just like, oh, how am I supposed to listen when I can't use Bluetooth for my headphones? I'll just have to pick up another pair of wired headphones or something before then, because I'm not buying a new computer. This is my wife's old Windows machine, so that should be fine.
Well, I've got
for the time
I've got
being.
some recommendations on headphones if you want them. All sorts, because I actually have. That's oh boy, sorry everyone, but that's actually a component in the class that I teach, and how to what sort of headphones work, what works for recording, what works for mixing and mastering, etc. So, but
mastering.
Yeah, when you're recording, you have a different type of headphone than you do whenever you're mixing and mastering music, because you want isolation and the minimal amount of noise bleed. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm sorry, I'm about to get everybody right into the weeds. Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. I like it. Yeah, it's been quite a week. It's been everything melted.
Yeah.
And so here in the Northeast, having a dog it's got a lot of benefits, except when the snow melts, then you end up filling 6 bags of things and throwing that in the garbage. So there's that. I look forward to hearing the garbage truck outside, put its arms out and go as it tries to lift the garbage can, because that'll be interesting. On the internet, I asked people on the internet to actually have empathy for one another, and that went over like a fart in church.
Yeah.
There was that, and I spent a week in training at work, so I am ready to talk 40K. I had a really great game of Sigmar against my buddy Travis yesterday. Yeah. That was super fun. So I'm ready for 40K night tomorrow, and I might call into work. I might be sick tomorrow. We'll see. I guess I did just segue into hobby progress in games, so I might as well just go for it. I painted all those buggies. I was building the buggies the last time we chatted.
Yeah.
And I painted all of them. So right now I'm running a list that has 9, 12, 15 buggies in it.
Oh, wow.
And 4 Defcoptas. I actually added 2 Defcoptas to the list, and we'll be trying that out tomorrow. I tried it against Connor's Death Guard. I lost that game. I kind of started with everything on the battlefield in that one.
Right.
But the buggies can all outflank, as can the Defcoptas. So I outflanked against my buddy Hank and his Tyranids.
Yeah.
Because that's what orcs are known for, outflanking Tyranids. What? Well, you know, we're super fast. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's kind of the story that we were going for. We enveloped them and ate them. Nom, nom, nom. Tyranids are delicious. Nom, nom, nom. But there was those were two good games that I had. So I also finished painting all the Star Eagles I have. I had a squad of 5 intercessors and a squad of 5 hellblasters and a 3rd lieutenant.
Right.
So I painted those up and that's it. I did have another repulsor. But that repulsor became a Gorkanaut. It was peer pressure.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, well,
I think that was me, wasn't it?
Your hobby, yes, but your hobby progress also includes kit bashing peer pressure as well. So we'll get to that in a second. And I've been playing some Sigmar. There's a Sigmar tournament on the 28th at Flipside, so I'm getting my Seraphon on. Seraphon?
I don't know.
Seraphon.
That sounds suspiciously like a pun.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Looking forward to painting the 2 Gorkanauts. I also built today I finished building the Wazbom Blastojet.
Woohoo.
So I got all 3 of those big vehicles base coated with brown.
Yeah.
And so that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not sure, but I think I might try to bust out the airbrush to get the yellow on those, because I think that'll save me a lot of time. There's going to be quite a bit of silver parts to those, but I think the yellow will be more maddening, so I think I'd rather get the yellow painted on and then block out the silver after the fact.
Yeah. That'll be cool.
And then the red markings, yeah. So I think tomorrow I'll pick up a pot of Averland Sunset and a pot of the flat mixing medium, Lamian medium.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. And I'll pick up some of that and hopefully we'll get all 3 vehicles covered, because I have like half a pot of Averland left. So 1.5 pots should be enough to cover all of those models with the base coat. Yeah. And then I have a bunch of it. You don't really need a whole lot of Uriel yellow to go on top of it. So that's where I'm at. That'll be my progress for next time. I think I'm going to try to get like halfway done on those for the next episode. I won't be able to finish them. If I do, great, but I won't. I don't think I have enough time to do all of them.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to talk about when we record next, because, well, April's blech for me. So
yeah, I was almost like, hey, let's record both episodes today.
Yeah.
But I just didn't have time to do all the notes. So
yeah.
Maybe I'll actually get the notes done like this week, and we'll record again this week. Maybe that might be a good idea. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Alrighty. So is that your hobby progress? That's a lot, especially the Gorkanaut.
I'm done. I did a lot. I mean, I love that Gorkanaut. But I think my favorite part of the Gorkanaut is I got some chain, and I hung chain on its like crotchial region, and I glued a bunch of. Yeah. You know, the Imperial Knight comes with like 1 million faces. So I just glued a bunch of Imperial Knight faces to the chain.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. That was one of my favorite things about that model.
Yeah, I liked that cool. Also. I thought that was pretty impressive. It was very, look at everything I've collected.
Got some trophies. But he is like 50% taller than the actual Gorkanaut. But whatever. It's orky. Whatever. No one cares. Or how about nobody this? People cares, but they're not going to
hold it against you, you know?
And if they do, I don't care.
Yeah. That too.
Yeah, what have you been up to, dude? What have you been up to?
All right. So it has been 3 weeks. I did not realize that it had been 3 weeks. Just because this semester, March was kind of weird for me. It's kind of busy. All right. So I finished building and priming the Contemptor Dread for the CK Studio workshop. So I'm pretty happy about that. We'll see if there's any, what's the phrase? Seeping fluid? No, wait, hold on, that's not right. Seeping release agent. I primed them yesterday, so I'm going to check on them this afternoon, maybe make sure, I mean, because I went through and washed them, but you know how that can be sometimes. I also had another plastic Contemptor that I had, and, you know, I like the plastic Contemptor because it's plastic, you know, it's a nice model, but the pose is really boring. Fine, there, I said it. So, you know, I already have one plastic Contemptor built for the Raven Guard, and I have one plastic for the Blood Ravens. So I had this third one, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to cut around on this thing, because I do need to work on my conversion work. I need to, you know, do modifications. I need to be able to do that better. So I cut both legs at the right at the groin, essentially. Yeah, let's make everybody a little uncomfortable. And then I chopped through the torso, and I kind of repositioned all three of them to where this dread looks like it's running. And I thought that was pretty cool. That was a lot of fun. That was a fun little conversion to do. And then I started digging through all of my bits and whatnot, and you know, I've got all these, I have a few of these guys, and so I started chopping around, and now I have like 3 carries autocannons, and they're magnetized so that I can change loadout, so I can have one dude who has like double carries, or maybe double multi-melta, or double chain fist. And that's pretty nice. You know, I did a lot of magnetizing. I'm probably need to order some more magnets, though, if I keep magnetizing everything like I am. Which then leads to the next thing. So, the Armiger Knight, which you sent me that one, and so I was building it, and I think some people had talked about, you know, wouldn't it look cool on the legs of a dune crawler? And I have a dune crawler that was, you know, ready to modify, so I magnetized the legs of the dune crawler to the torso of the knight. And it looks pretty nice. It's about half an inch shorter than the regular Armiger Knight.
It's awesome, though.
Oh yeah,
it's perfect. It's everything you want it to be.
Yeah, I magnetized.
I definitely want my third one to do that. I definitely want that as one of, because it just looks so cool.
Yeah, and it's actually it's an easy build. Like, I mean, I think the Dune Crawler is a more difficult build than the Armiger Knight. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And now I have, you know, the Dune Crawler, like, torso, you know, pilot's thing with the chicken walker legs. So now I've got an ATST from, you know, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, nerds. Okay, so anyways, on the Armiger Knight, though, I magnetized the arms so they could be removed fairly easily, and I have a suspicion that we're going to get more Armiger variants. So I'd like to be able to, you know, pop something in and out fairly easily. So, and let's see what else. So it had been a while since we recorded, and I actually realized that the last time we recorded, I was working on something else, and the day that we recorded, I went and built my Inquisitor. Like, I did not realize, so I haven't talked about this. So I have the Sisters of Silence / Escher Gang Kit Bash Inquisitor. So it's got like, you know, it has a sword from the Sisters of Silence and this really cool plasma pistol that looks more like I'm trying to think of how to explain it. The pistol grip is kind of bent. It's not like it's not at an angle. It's more of a curve. And so that's a pretty cool...
Yeah. Like kind of like an old timey kind of design.
Yeah. Like, you know, pistols from, I don't know, 16th, 17th century. Anyways,
Yeah.
that was really cool, and so that was really the first time I'd painted flesh also, so I was very concerned about keeping that thing, just right. I did a zenithal prime on the body, and then I did a zenithal prime on the sword, and that allowed me to glaze it, and so it has this really cool glow effect. So it's actually probably one of my favorite kit bashes now, just because it came out a lot better than I thought it would. And it's just got a mohawk, too, that's orange. So that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, it's an epic mohawk, too. It's not just a mohawk. It's like a full-on, like, super hawk. If it were a fighter jet, it would be a super hawk.
Pretty much. It's the mohawk all other mohawks aspire to be.
That's true.
I'm currently reading, and I wrote this last night, but I finished the new Carcharodon's novel. It's really good. I really liked it. I'm not spoiling anything on this one.
Okay, that's good.
I will say one thing. It was a fun read, and there was some really cool stuff that actually harkened back to the Horus Heresy. So, yeah. Basically, they let the author McNiven just kind of let him fly his nerd flag, and boy did he. So
nice.
I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, that's my hobby.
That sounds awesome. Awesome. That's great. Well, you've been busy. I've been busy. See, that's the good thing about waiting 3 weeks to like do something, because then we have lots of hobby progress, right?
That's right.
So that works.
Yeah, man.
So what do you like? So I already kind of did my hobby goals. What have you got coming up this month?
So yeah, it's April. I think everybody knows that I teach and I work in a university, and I'm working with all of our student teachers and all the people who are graduating.
Wait, I thought you were a babysitter.
Don't start me on that. So this month is probably going to be pretty crazy. I am going to do hobby progress, because if I don't do something at night, I will stay up all night and I will be cursing for like the next month. Like every word will be a profanity. I also, in 2 weeks, I'm going to the CK Studios workshop in San Antonio. So I'm really prepping for that, making sure I've got my models done, got all my airbrush stuff together so I can go. So I'm not sure. I don't have So my hobby goal this month is to airbrush. So, yeah.
Well, I think that sounds good. I think maybe we should get together after you do the studio.
Yeah, that might be. I haven't talked to Kat and Caleb about it yet, but I may take one of my recorders up there with me and see if I can like do an interview or something. I don't know. I know there's one other podcaster who will be there, so.
Okay. Yeah, why not? That'll be fun as hell. Let's do it. Let's do that. Cool. Yeah, I need to get myself a more portable solution for recording. Yeah. I really want to get a MacBook Pro, but they are so expensive.
Yeah.
They're so expensive. So I don't know. Wendy seems adamant that I get one, because it's the last Mac I had lasted 10 years. Yeah. Right? Like, so essentially you're talking, okay, if it lasts the same amount of time, you're talking $300 a year for a computer.
Yeah.
And that's
nothing.
That's very reasonable. Very reasonable. So we'll see. The thing never got a virus. It never, that it's just, and it is just really good. So maybe in a few months we'll do that, and I'll do that, and I'll that'll be a great way to do portable, like, recordings.
Yeah.
At events and stuff. But until then, I'll stick with this thing, and we'll muddle through as best we can.
We'll get it taken care of.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Jason, did you have a Beyond the Fringe contender this week?
Yeah. Chili dogs. No, wait. No, hold on. No. DIMM modules. Memory modules for my computer. I ordered some yesterday to upgrade my main machine. My main machine is... I only use this
Wait,
to...
DIMMs?
Wait, what?
Aren't DIMMs permanent memory or something?
Yeah, it's...
Aren't they the old memory that used to be like you had to expose them to light to wipe the memory?
No.
No? It contains one of several random actions on a small circuit board. Okay. I'm dumb. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. So after your problem with your computer, I became kind of ultra paranoid. And so I started checking my machine and going, all right, well, I need to upgrade this. I need to upgrade that. So I'm upgrading the memory because I do need to do an upgrade on it. And this machine is older, but I don't play games or anything on it. This is just for working on music. So
right.
I just need to do that. I need to do some upgrading there. What about you? I see what you've got.
Oh yeah. So it is about time for folks to keep their eyes on their emails because BattleTech is launching soon, the new video game, and it's straight up BattleTech too. It's not Mech Warrior. It's not a Mech Commander, where Mech Commander was a real-time strategy game for BattleTech.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't think it was ever competitive. I doubt it. Anyways, it's a turn-based strategy game for BattleTech, and it's straight up BattleTech. Now, you can't just willy-nilly modify your mechs.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it has actual kind of hard points for your items, which is a lot more narrative. There's a big argument in the community about modifying mechs and how far you should be able to modify your mechs, because in the pen and paper game, like, technically you're able to modify tonnage and critical space all you want. So like you can replace a large laser and a bunch of heat sinks with an autocannon if you want. But this game tries to kind of set things up that make logical sense as to what you can replace with what.
Yeah.
So, or common variants are allowed. Like it's very interesting. I'm very interested to see how it works. I did play a little bit of the beta. My buddy bought into the beta level of the Kickstarter. I just got the game. Mm-hmm. So I'm just getting the game and like one mech skin that's being given out to backers. But I'm super excited for it. Anybody who loved BattleTech back in the day, this is what you want to buy, because just sitting down and playing BattleTech is painful. Trust me. I tried it. I tried it a couple of months ago, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the worst. I mean, I'm having fun. I love going pew pew with my battle mechs, but you know what's better? Firing up a video game and playing for an hour instead of playing on the tabletop. I'm just not gonna lie. So it's straight up the game too. Like your movement generates heat, your movement generates like hit modifiers and everything. I'm kind of going on a tangent here. All I can say is check out BattleTech. It's coming out later in the month. I'm really looking. If anybody wants to play, message me on Facebook. Straight up. Message me. We'll get together. You know what? I think I'll start a Discord group for BattleTech. Actually, one will probably pop up, so I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I may just start one just for people I like. That's it. Let's do some reminders.
All right.
We've got Canon Seth No competition coming up because we're going to be doing the Castellan Creed books by David Annandale. Get those. Check out our Facebook page. The link to the competition is up there. A bunch of people have responded, so that's good. Again, that'll be one entry in the competition per correct answer. Then we have, like I was saying before, the Age of Sigmar tournament at Flipside on the 28th of April. And then in May, we're going to be having a friendly tournament, friendly Warhammer event in May that folks can attend. Check it out. And lastly, in June... I'm not sure. Well, at this point, we really don't need more people, but I don't think. But we're in June. I'm putting all of my models on the battlefield. All of my orcs are going to be fighting. Wa Drill Teeth is going to take wrestle control from the various and sundry war bosses that have been trying to. Take control of the boys, and he is going to relaunch his Ultramar campaign. We're going to try to kill some Space Marines. But first, we need to get through a blockade of Imperial forces, so we're going to have to kill a lot of Baneblades. It's going to be...
All right.
Going to be a lot. Going to be a lot of Baneblades to kill. I think John has 3. I think Mike is bringing 1.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Phil has 2 or 3. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be John, Phil, Alexis, and Mike. And then I'll probably try to conscript some people to help me move orcs around. I mean, to be perfectly honest, Phil, Mike, John, and Alexis can move and shoot my orc models too. It doesn't really matter. It's Apocalypse. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I'm putting a narrative mission together, so it should be interesting. It's possible that Wa Tuska will show up during the battle. Who knows? That should be fun.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Wa Drill Teeth can crack through their defenses and pour into the Ultima Segmentum and start wreaking havoc. That should be fun.
Yeah, that sounds like it'll be fun.
Should be fun. Well, good. So the next 2 episodes are going to be about Abhumans. Yes. I think people have been looking forward to these episodes for a while. Some of these are probably topics in and of themselves, but a bunch of them are not.
Right.
So I think it's best to go over all of this so I think that the good kind of compromise is to do 2 episodes instead of just 1.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yep.
So
for this episode, we're doing A through N, Afriel strain through Navigators. So that should be fun. There's a bunch of information on all of these. And what we offer here is only a fraction of it, to be honest. There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
So stick with us, have some messages, and we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, just wanted to let you know about the Show Me Showdown, which is an ITC Grand Tournament held in Kansas City, Missouri, on July 21st and 22nd, 2018, and is being held at Staley High School in North Kansas City. The event is being held to raise money for 2 student programs, FBLA, the Future Business Leaders of America, and DECA, Marketing and Entrepreneur Program. These 2 student organizations raise money each year to help with student activities and programs that prepare kids for business careers. All the rules and information for the event can be found at their website, www.showmeshowdownt.com, or on Facebook at Show-Me Showdown GT. Just a reminder, location is Staley High School in Kansas City, Missouri. 40 players, match play of 2,000 points. The entry fee is $30, and the format is the ITC 2018 Tournament Pack. One last time, www.showmeshowdowngt.com. Thanks.
Oi! After an hard day's shopping, I like to head down to the pub and enjoy a good brew with me mates. Shopping humans all day is hard smelly work, so's I likes to top myself up with something nice. Chopper body spray is not just a treat for you, it's a treat for the whole crew. Now available in Green Apple Grunt, Illinois After Dark, and Oops Don't Press That Fragrances. Chopper body spray, don't make me axe you twice.
Hello, everyone. The Masters of the Forge is now a proud member of the NPC, the Narrative Podcast Consortium. Our aim is to inspire your hobby through the rich lore of the 41st millennium. If you enjoy our podcast, then make sure to check out these other awesome shows, where you can get coverage on campaigns, Black Library, and all kinds of general topics of the 40K background.
The NGC 40K podcast also provides in-depth campaign coverage, audio dramas, and free-flowing narrative campaign creation.
The Adeptus Terra podcast also features in-depth discussions of the lore and commentary on the hobby.
Oh, and sexy English voices.
Oh, yeah.
The Masters of the Forge brings the world of 40K to life on your tabletop, with discussion on the lore, backed up by narrative-themed rules and battle reports.
Of course, this is only a fraction of the topics covered by the podcasts of the NPC. Please tune in to find out more.
Welcome back. Thanks for listening to those messages. All right. Let's get her started with the Afriel strain.
All right, so the Afriel strain. At some point, the Adeptus Mechanicus thought it would be a good idea to make replicae, clones, of the greatest warriors in the history of mankind. Imagine.
Okay, I believe that's our cue. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, imagine, if you will, an entire regiment of Commissar Yariks, Macariuses, and Sly Marbos. See, Sly Marbos, there you go. There's your what could possibly go wrong. Right there. In fact, we could probably just stop right there and go, yeah, that could be horrible. But let's keep going. This is not to be, however, because these warriors ended up being horribly antisocial and, for whatever reason, incredibly unlucky. I don't know if you remember it was a Michael Keaton movie in the mid-90s called, maybe it was Duplicity, where he made copies of himself.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how when you make a copy of a copy, it's just not that sharp? Yeah. So,
yeah.
There you go. Anyways, Afriel strain warriors are usually albino, so at least it's easy to pick them out from the genuine article. Due to the failure of the project, at least for its intended goals, Afriel strain warriors are generally committed as a deadly form of cannon fodder on the battlefield. What's interesting is that you can find the rules and chapter approved in White Dwarf 303, March 2005. You give them, and they shall know no fear, but other units got preferred enemy against them, and they weren't allowed Ministorum priests or inquisitorial allies, which that's kind of interesting, but I guess, yeah, they're cannon fodder, they're whatever. Source for the Afriel strain is White Dwarf 303 and at least one Last Chancer's novel. I have not read any of the Last Chancer novels.
Me neither. They're older novels, so I think they're along with Inquisitor, what's his name?
Yeah.
I think all of those can be interesting, to say the least. I would actually be very interested to pick up some of those older novels and see
what's
the
changed.
kind of shenanigans that get up to in those novels, to be honest, because I think that'll be really fun. All right. So that's really all we know about the Afriel strain. There are a few things that hook into this later, and we'll talk about that at the time. But I think clearly this was an ill-conceived idea. Why would they ever think that this was going to be okay? I can't imagine why. Well, they were meant to fight the Tyranids. The Tyranid, I guess the Tyranid menace is so terrifying that you're willing to go to any effort,
right,
to defeat them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess let's move on to the Beastmen. The Beastmen, this was actually what we wanted the whole episode to be about, but even though there is quite a bit of information about them, it's not an entire episode's worth, so we won't do that. But the Beastmen are a very popular abhuman strain among Warhammer players. Although they are somewhat abundant in Sigmar right now, they've been all but like squatted in 40k.
Yeah.
However, recent releases for Necromunda and Thousand Sons have kind of kept this concept of the Beastmen alive in modern times. So Beastmen combine the appearance of humans with various animals, such as goats or rams. They're the most popular ones, the most common in the model range. They're called caprigors. Also, there's also cows, and they're called bovigors. Birds, avigors, etc. You can see the kind of a repeated theme here. They very much remind me of the I forgot what they're called in the Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time monsters. Fiction. Monsters. No dead air. It's fine. There's no need to edit here. Wheel of Time.
We can start singing.
Time monsters. It's fine.
So while Adam looks that up, I'll go through and let you know that the Beastmen can be small and pitiful, and these are called brays. While others can be, they can grow to be enormous and formidable, such as the mighty Minotaur. Some scholars say the Beastmen are the result of human genetic engineering in the age of technology, while others insist that Beastmen are proof of the corrupting influence of the warp. That sense is kind of interesting. I was reading the Thousand Sons Codex, and they were talking about the Zangor and how they just kind of appear. They're... For instance, I thought the Zangor were just... what's what I'm looking for? That they were the denizens of the planet of the sorcerers whenever the Thousand Sons were exiled there.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out that, they were like humans that develop into these other things. And then from there, there's levels of Zangors, which is I thought that was all really interesting. We probably talk about this farther down the notes, but that was that's an interesting sentence about proof of the corrupting influence of the warp. Sorry, wrong genre. In any case, the Beastman genome is extremely stable and does not show signs of extreme mutation beyond the whole half animal thing. This is interesting. Some Beastmen are actually born human but develop Beastman features over time, and these are called turn skins.
Yes.
I know one thing. Looking at the bounty hunter for Necromunda, the half-horn dude, Gorn the half-horn?
Yeah, Gore half-horn.
Gore, that model is awesome.
He's cool.
I really want to get it because it's awesome. Does that work?
Yes.
It'd be nice to have some rules for it, but it'd be, wonderful to have for an inquisitorial warband because why not,
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. He would be great as kind of a leader for a Beastman force as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trollocs, the creatures from the Wheel of Time are called Trollocs, and they're very similar. They're just like these mutated part animal, but it's not like Chaos Spawn, which are like malformed and totally chaos in nature. They're very stable for if they are chaos spawned. They're very stable for being chaos spawned.
Yeah.
So during the Crusade, entire legions of Beastmen were thrown at the front of an engagement. Their natural strength, aggression, and bestial nature made them perfect for this task. After the Horus Heresy, Guilliman made sure the Beastmen, among other abhumans, had a place in the Imperial Guard. Their simple minds easily grasped onto the teachings of the imperial cult. It wasn't long before the Beastmen were worshipping the Emperor as a vengeful god who demands the blood of his enemies as a sacrifice. The Beastmen are more than willing to oblige him. So that I thought that was really cool. First of all, there's a couple things in there. First is Guilliman's the fact that the Imperial Guard are a part of the Codex Astartes or whatever.
Yeah.
So, he was the Imperial Commander. What do you call it? The Lord Commander, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's something I want to look up. I would like to do a little more research on kind of the formation of the Imperium post
post
scouring and stuff. Yeah, that would be interesting to see, because I didn't know that he was the architect of that whole thing also.
Yeah.
Which might explain a few things. Anyways, some argue that the Beastmen are genetically predisposed to corruption, but the Imperium doesn't help matters. Beastmen are horribly oppressed. They are first to be blamed whenever there are signs of social unrest in a region. The Custodes are known for brutally cracking down on Beastmen, having been placed on the register of proscribed citizens, and society in general is no better. To be a Beastman in the Imperium is to be an outcast. To make things worse, Beastmen do not count towards the planet's tithe to the Astra Militarum. As such, Beastmen aren't even valued as a commodity. As it so often does, violence begets violence, and Beastmen in such situations often turn to corrupting influences in order to just get by. So...
yeah.
I am not sure if this counts as a unfortunate or blatant congruence.
Yeah. So
or if it represents a very aware and interesting simile. I don't know. I wouldn't hazard a guess. I would very much hesitate to make any judgment call therein. That is not my place. All I know is being a Beastman sucks.
Yeah. So there are 4 types of Beastmen that fall to chaos and corrupting influences. First up, we have the Korgors, and they're Beastmen that have fallen to the will of Khorne. They are definitely cannon fodder in that they're driven towards the enemy in great baying packs of lunatics bent on loyally shedding blood for their pack masters and their Dark Lord. Many Korgors are the carnivorous variety, such as dogs or great cats.
Mostly dogs.
Mostly dogs, yeah. Pestigors, which I had not heard of Pestigors. Actually, I hadn't heard of Korgors, Pestigors, or Slangors, but we'll get to that in a second. Pestigors are beastmen devoted to Nurgle, which kind of makes me ugh, but whatever. They're mangy, unenviable creatures, absolutely riddled with disease and decay. They're still robust creatures, though, and persist with the blessings of Papa Nurgle so that they may spread his gifts far and wide. Pestigors often have the features of goats or deer. Yeah, not going to argue that one. Alright, so then Slangors are beastmen who have been enticed by the vices and pleasures of Slaanesh. The senses of a Slangor are more keen than other beastmen, and they are known for their great cruelty. Many Slangors have the features of a goat or a cow, and cows are also known as Bovagors. The most cunning and ruthless of beastmen who fall to chaos will devote themselves to Tzeentch. These are called the Zangor. As such, the pecking order among the Zangor can be quite perilous to climb. The herds of Zangor are rife with backstabbing. Still, their Thousand Sons masters manage to hold them together well enough to train many of them in the psychic arts and effectively deploy them in battle. Zangor often have avian qualities, so they are still bristling with horns and claws. If you're interested in reading more about the Zangors, the new Thousand Sons Codex has about 6 to 8 pages devoted to this. Because there are Zangors, but then there's like levels of Zangors. You have, your regular, then you have your exalted, then you have, I think it was the shamans. And, how they basically kind of quote unquote rise through those ranks. And it's always at the very capricious whim of Tzeentch. And that's kind of it was an interesting background read to look over that. So it's only about
they stab each other in the back and stuff, right? Like whoever can kind of trick each other into.
Yeah, but I mean it's Tzeentch, so he's kind of pushing that, or they're being pushed towards that. But they also have to do certain things to become more, or to impress Tzeentch more, for Tzeentch to say, you know what, I'm going to give you this boon and this extra power. So it was interesting.
So we have talked about the Zangor in the past. When we were talking about chaos worlds, when we were talking about like worlds that have fallen to chaos and that exist like between reality and the warp, and we were talking about the planet of sorcerers and how the Zangors inhabit the land, and there was some ambiguity as to whether the Zangors had lived there previously, or if they were beastmen who had been brought with the Thousand Sons, or if they were humans who had become these beastmen over time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, do you know offhand, off the top of your head, if the Codex brings that to light?
It kind of implies that humans can be turned into Zangors.
Uh-huh.
And that, like I said earlier, that Zangors then can kind of evolve or devolve to more powerful forms, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the implication is that it's possible that the natural, like, beastmen are by their nature a shape of chaos, or the beastman gene is so prevalent in humanity that it's just naturally comes out when exposed to the changer of ways, or just to the warp in general. So that's an interesting thought. It's interesting. So as far as rules are concerned, there's a lot to them. There's a lot more to beastmen than many of these other abhuman races, because they still are a full range of Sigmar models, and they have been represented in Warhammer 40,000 in the past. First of all, you can look at the old chapter approved and Eye of Terror rules for them, as well as Imperial armor. Currently, they're available as playable models for the Thousand Sons line, for the Zangors, multiple troops, as well as characters, including Psychers. Also, they're represented in Necromunda with Gore Halfhorn. Also, the Beastmen and Zangor are also still represented in Sigmar. Although the Beastmen side of it are somewhat out of date. There are plastics, but they're still a little out of date. You can put a pistol in their hand if you really want to, though. There's nothing stopping you. In addition, Imperial Armor Index Astra Militarum contains rules for renegades and heretics, which could be used to represent the braying hordes of beastmen. Any of the Chaos Covenants would be appropriate to the corresponding type of beastman devoted to that particular Chaos God. There's one for each type, and I think you don't have to give them a Chaos Covenant, though.
Right.
They could just be beastmen. There's a unit in the army list called Mutant Rabble, which I believe is a troop's choice. The Curse of Mutation ability can be rather devastating to your herd, because it's like, if you roll a 1, you lose D6 models out of the unit or something. It's gross. Yeah. Of course, the rules for catechins might better, might just be easier and better to use. That +1 strength is really good. In any of the army lists, including the rules for Ratlings and Ogryn, for Brays and Minotaurs. So like Ratlings could be your Brays, and Ogryn could be your Minotaurs, and that would be appropriate, I think. I don't think anybody would complain about that.
Nah.
No, you can find corresponding models in any of, like, you can actually use like Skaven maybe.
Right.
For the Ratlings, because there are Skaven with long rifles as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that works for the snipers.
Oh, okay.
And then we have for Horus Heresy Gaming, we have Crusade Imperialis. You actually can use the Imperialis Army Militia list, and they have rules for making Beastmen herds. You basically choose a province of war for your force commander called Abhuman Helots for 35 points, and all infantry gain +1 toughness, -1 initiative. They also get access to discipline collars, which are 20 points per unit. It makes them stubborn, but if they roll boxcars, the collars explode and kills everyone in the squad.
Whoa. Okay.
Cool. I don't think that's considered to be the most competitive, but we're talking about we don't care.
Yeah. I've never looked at I've never been totally interested in running guard just because painting all those models just kind of, And I was not aware of that rule in there. I'll have to go and look at that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's the mutant rabble in the Imperial Armor Index Astral Militarum. I'm still a little confused what rules we're supposed to use for those. So like, if I play that, like I'm thinking about playing that for my Diggas.
Oh yeah.
It's I'm not sure what rules to use for Lehman Russ battle tanks. Should I still use the one from the Index, or should I use? I think he used the most recent rules, but I'm still a little confused. So I'm still more likely to just go ahead and use catechins instead. I think that makes it just be easier.
Yeah, that'll work. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about are the Felinids. I'm almost afraid to walk into this, but you know what? Let's do it. All right, so the Felinids.
You're brave.
I'm a brave man. Homo sapien hirsutus? Hail from the world of Carlos McConnell. When I read this earlier, I was like, Adam's messing with me because it's April 1st, and I looked it up real quick, and was like, no. No, he's not messing with me. We are brought this highly useful and heretically furry information thanks to the 6th edition rulebook and probably copious amounts of reefer being smoked in Nottingham restrooms. I'm going to have to go look this up now. I've got the 6th ed rulebook around here somewhere. The majority of Felinid coverage is sequestered in the darkest pits of the dark web and deviant art. Seek at your own risk, citizen. Yeah?
Yeah, that's about it, dude. That's really where we're at with the Felinids. At that, I think it's time to take a break.
Yeah, let's take a short break. Be right back.
Greetings, mofos.
Are you out of George Dickel number 8, staring at a broken chess machine?
Well, don't want to spend the rest of the year tied to that couch?
Well, why don't you head on over to the 1 Hour a Night Facebook page and see what exciting stuff is going on there. It's a place to post all your daily progress in the hobby grind, as well as receive and give positive feedback. Also, there are usually a few interesting challenges going on.
That's right. All you have to do is search for 1 Hour a Night on Facebook. That's numeral 1 Hour a Night, all one word. Blood serum tests will be administered prior to approval.
Se til helvete og kom dere vekk. Det ikke bikkje, det en slags ting. Den imiterer bikkje, men det ikke det. Kom dere vekk, idioter!
What he said.
Come here, boy, get the ball. Come on, Max, get the ball. Mom, Max won't get the ball. He's lazy.
I think I know why your Zote is being lazy, Jenny.
Why, Mom?
Because you forgot to feed him the Zotabix today.
Oh, no.
Oh yes, Zotobix contains all the nutrients and random animal parts a growing Zote craves. It not only provides our Zote with the energy it needs to play with you and protect our home, but it also keeps its chitinous shell fresh and shiny.
Oh boy, I'd better feed Max's Zotobix.
Yes, you had.
Zotobix is made in part from grade
Max,
A
time for
Astra
dinner.
Militarum post-engagement byproduct and is infused with 112 essential vitamins
No,
and
Max,
minerals
down.
harvested from your Zote's natural habitat, the finest desert deserts.
Ah!
Zotobix is available in any shopping center on worlds where Zotes are allowed or where the Imperium's inexorable influence has not yet reached.
Blood Ravens Chapter is a Facebook group set up and run by passionate fans of the mysterious Space Marine chapter. They have weekly features, regular competitions, and an encouraging community ethos designed to let people get the most from their hobby. Search for Plus Blood Ravens Chapter Plus on Facebook using the plus symbol if you're a fan or collector of these heroes of the Imperium. Knowledge is power. Guard it well.
And we're back. Thanks for sticking with us after that. Next, we have a almost equally unfortunate group called the Gland Warriors. They're also called, they're more affectionately referred to as the D99 Armor List from Imperial Armor 4. They are castaway remnants of the Lowstock 23rd who were stationed on the Forge Roll of Xantris III. These guardsmen were designed by the Adeptus Mechanicus on the orders of Ordo Xenos Inquisitor Lord Varius, superior to Solomon Locke of the Amphileum Project fame, specifically to fight off a Tyranid invasion, and were considered to be far more successful than the ill-fated Afriel strain. In one important way, they are very different from the Afriel strain in that they have implanted glands like Astartes rather than having been born with their genes. This begs the question, why are they registered as Abhumans? By the end of the 41st millennium, several groups of Gland Warrior veterans could be found serving throughout the Imperium. Lord knows where they're at now.
Yeah.
The original chapter approved rules gave them fleet, but you lost a model whenever you rolled a 6 on your run roll. You can also check out the D99 army list from Imperial Armor 4, the Amphileum Project, who are actually advanced Gland Warriors and gain +1 weapon skill, preferred enemy Tyranids, and stubborn. This of course would need an extreme overhaul in 8th edition. You could just run Elysians, or Militarium Tempestus, and you'd be just fine.
Yeah, that sounds
just
about
better
right.
Humans. Yep, they're cool. I like that. That's fun, and if you want to play Amphilean Project dudes, I mean that's what you're looking at. And I thought that was really interesting. Like this, looking up this D99 Gland Warriors thing, made me respect how much effort is often put into some of the lore for 40K, because like there are callbacks to stuff that is just buried in some of these old chapter approved or so like this Inquisitor Lord like somebody took a small morsel of information like this Inquisitor Lord Varius and his quest to end the Tyranid threat and his tinkering with the genetic code of humans, and they developed a whole campaign around one of his proteges and his continuing of that effort. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and that I have that the Amphileum Project Forge World book, and that's a really fun book. There's a lot of really cool little tidbits in there that are pretty nice. I wouldn't mind running like a NIDS versus not guard, but I mean something along the lines of the Amphilean Project. So, all right. So next up, after the Gland Warriors, after Felinids, leave it there. All right. So we have Goliaths. Goliaths are a very specific strain of abhumans specific to Necromunda. They are vat-born and huge, larger even than a space marine. Just a small note, I do have the Goliath gang, and they are on 32mm bases, and they are as big as a space marine model. They are also much slower and dim-witted than even the slowest and stupidest space marine. Which is good if you need someone for the Black Templars. Goliaths are bred to work.
Oh!
Wow, I went there. Sorry, guys. Okay, so anyways, Goliaths are bred to work in the vast foundries of Necromunda. Those who show special talent are, instead, used in the fighting pits or in gang warfare. Goliaths are also known to be ill-tempered and violent, because that's the kind of party we're having. One of a Goliath's only redeeming social qualities are its loyalty to its masters. Even if a Goliath were to turn on its master, they would quickly find themselves in dire straits since they rely on a constant supply of chemical remedies to avoid dying from an overproduction of muscle mass. Yeah, those models they're just basically muscle with a head and weapon. But they are really cool models. Yeah, I went through and painted some of them, so...
Like they actually like dress so that their muscles are showing. Like they're very. I think that the Goliath gang is an answer to kind of a certain subset of human society that may think very highly of themselves and maybe strut about with their muscles showing. These guys are basically Jersey Shore. Abhumans, the Jersey Shore of Necromunda. Very cool. I think that's fun. Okay, and I didn't realize that they were an abhuman. Like that's interesting. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I guess if they're
that explains it. Like I guarantee you there are a couple people out there who are like, these models are bigger than Space Marines. You know what? Yes, they are. Yeah, because they are bigger than Space Marines, actually.
Yeah, I'm probably going to use mine for part of an Imperial war band. So, Twizzler needs someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Next, we have a topic that we've discussed previously, but we'll go over it again because it's super cool.
Yeah.
Next, we have House Orhlac. They're also known as the Knights of the Manticore. House Orhlac are an Imperial Knight House who were able to endure their death world of Darkhaven only through the advanced genetic engineering of the Dark Age of technology. They have not technically been qualified as abhumans in the eyes of the Administratum or the Inquisition, but they are.
Yeah.
Their ability to resist toxins surpasses even that of the average Astartes warrior. So that's saying something. Their skin is pale, their bodies are gaunt, so they clearly don't have the strength or agility or the prowess of a Space Marine. The people of House Orhlac have long lives without the help of gene therapy. Most Imperial warriors or whoever, you need to undergo extreme gene therapy to extend your lifespan. They don't. But the trade-off for that is they have low birth rates, and they actually can't survive without the unique fungus from their homeworld of Darkhaven for sustenance. Even though they have this like kind of dark and sinister and spooky countenance, they're basically the goth knights.
Yeah.
House Orhlac remained aligned with the Imperium throughout the heresy.
Yeah.
And they reaped many rewards for their loyalty. Like they were courted by Horus. But the what do you call it? The rogue trader that showed up to get their help. They killed him and stole his spaceship. Really funny. So today they are a well supplied and respected night house. It would be really cool to see us get specific rules for Orlac in the upcoming Warhammer 40K Codex. I'm not sure they will though, because that was a house from Imperial Armor. Well, not even Imperial Armor. It was from Horus Heresy rules. So we may not see them in 40K rules, but they're really cool.
Yeah. All right. So next up are the Longshanks. They're also known as Homo sapien elongatus. These Abhumans were the people executed by the Black Templars. Oh, those guys again. Upon their discovery on the Orc-attack moon orbiting Terra during the War of the Beast, Longshanks are bald, long-legged, and have wide eyes, and they are a typical mutation bred for life on low-gravity worlds. For some reason, I think they showed up in one of the Horus Heresy novels, but I could be wrong.
No, it's possible, and this kind of thing, the Longshanks were if I recall correctly, they were predicted by Asimov. This hasn't. I mean, this isn't something that was in any of the reading or any of the notes, but I do recall him talking about either him or Bradbury talking about how, as we go out into the galaxy, we may want to think about, instead of trying to find the perfect world, gene craft the perfect people to live on the worlds we do find. So that if it's a low gravity world, we may need to adjust our genetic structure so that we can survive on a low gravity world, or if it's a high gravity world, or if it's a low oxygen world, we might want to adjust our genome so that we can better survive on those planets.
There's an old RPG from, I don't know, mid-'80s, I think, that kind of went into that. And I'm trying to remember the name of the RPG was. Like Star Frontiers or something like that.
Yeah, I think that Star Frontiers sounds like an RPG that exists.
Yeah.
And there are a few hard sci-fi. I've always wanted to kind of do a hard sci-fi role-playing game for outer space. So your characters are on a vessel that the moment it sets off from Earth, you're basically saying, I will never see my family again, because by the time I get back, they're going to be 100,000 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that would be cool. And then as you travel to the world, your body, you undergo gene therapy so that your body can acclimate to the world you're traveling to.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, that sounds like fun. That sounds like super fun. That's kind of what we got going on here. I think the writers of Warhammer had that in mind when they were thinking about the Abhumans. Because clearly no one would believe that just living on a world would change your genes to the point where you could live there, because you would all be dead before you mutated enough.
Right.
Anyways, next we have our last species, Homo Navigo, the Navigators. There is a crapload of information about Navigators.
Yeah.
A lot. They're important, right? They're the mutants that possess the very specific Navigator gene, which gives them a literal and figurative third eye. Their third eye gives them the Abhuman ability to perceive the Astronomicon, which is the Emperor's psychic lighthouse on Terra. It is the Astronomicon which allows Imperial vessels to find their way through the warp. Without it, they would be lost. A vessel without a navigator is limited to warp jumps of only a few light years, and even then, only after hours of careful cogitator calculations.
Yeah.
The navigator gene is no accident of birth, but a carefully cultivated mutation. Unlike other Abhumans, the great families of the Navis Nobilate hold great power and influence in the social structures of the Imperium, sometimes even holding positions among the High Lords of Terra themselves. Considering how important navigators are to the Imperium and how powerful they can be, this should not come as a surprise.
Right. Still, navigators are often distrusted and shunned by their contemporaries. In the past, there have been zealots who have, in their ignorance, brought violence upon navigators. These foolish actions are always quashed, If not by the ecclesiarchy itself, then agents of the administratum. Still,
because they know what's better for them, what's good for them.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you want to trade and communicate across the galaxy? Okay, all right, let's see you do without a navigator.
Yeah.
Still, the power of the navigator clans are not above reproach. The Inquisition, what a show, has on occasion been forced to wipe out communities of navigators who have proven themselves to be untrustworthy. I could see that because it is the Inquisition.
Well, yeah, let's form a union or whatever.
Yeah, not going to happen. All right, so a navigator's worth is tied directly to their unique familiarity with these routes. As such, the navigator houses jealously guard their knowledge of warp routes throughout the Imperium. Of course, this means the Navis nobility, or nobilitae, or nobilite, whatever, are as prone to infighting and corruption as any other noble houses. Yay!
All right.
Indeed, such activities often lead to outright theft. Such activities invariably lead to dangerous honor duels where combatants uncover their third eye and they blast each other with mind bullets for minutes or even hours of soul-crushing psychic combat. Also known as faculty meetings. Still, although honor duel combatants are rarely killed in the process, they may face months of recovery.
Yeah, that's important. That's an important note. The navigator houses still, like, they're not going to hire an assassin to kill each other because they still consider each other a more valuable resource than any other person in the Imperium. So, I mean, I don't know if I would consider that noble in nature. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the nature of the beast. Like they're not going to murder each other.
Yeah.
It's not out of altruism. It's just being a navigator is hard, and you need the other navigator houses for breeding purposes.
That too, because you want to make sure you're not accidentally killing your future brother-in-law or father-in-law.
Exactly. It's very important that,
or future spouse.
You need you need their genes in order to have more navigators in your house, and the more navigators you have, the more sway you have in society. So killing each other is bad anyways, but for the navigators it's just a really bad idea. It's a great way to get yourself killed too, by the way. There's a great, like I said before, there's way more information about navigators, especially in Fantasy Flight role-playing games.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of rules in Rogue Trader. There's actually, I actually looked up the old Rogue Trader's entry for these guys, and it's what you'd expect. They're very, very specialized characters. They got a lot of cool specialized equipment and abilities and stuff. In Horus Heresy, from Black Library, they can be taken as an adjunct to a standard force commander.
Mm-hmm.
They get their own psychic powers. One is called the Lidless Stare, a template attack that causes instant death, which sounds great.
Yeah.
Prescience, which the navigator and his unit have a -1 to hit against them. Then Etheric Disruption makes it more difficult to use psychic powers for everyone on the battlefield. So you can also use just regular Astra Militarum rules for your navigator. I think that the Astropath is probably the best use for this. You can use the Primaris Psyker, I guess, but I think that the Astropath is the best one. Because just listen to the Psychana discipline: Gaze of the Emperor, Psychic Barrier, Psychic Mail's Terrifying Visions. Like, I think all of these are very much in fitting with the navigator if you wanted to have one on the battlefield for whatever reason. Although I think it's kind of like Vect, where you kind of don't want him on the battlefield, really.
Right.
So it would have to be a really good reason to have him on there. I guess like kind of a last ditch effort kind of thing. Or if it's an apocalypse game, they might. Maybe it's just like a last stand or something. You need as much psychic presence as possible for whatever reason.
Right.
I love this. The Gaze of the Emperor is like him or her opening their third eye. Warp charge 6, 2d6 range. Draw a straight line, 2d6 inches long, directly away from the psyker. Roll a dice for each model at the center of the line passes over. On a 4+, that model's unit suffers a mortal wound. So it's like, pew! It's very much like that template that from the Horus Heresy.
Mm-hmm.
Mental Fortitude, you automatically pass morale checks for all Astra Militarum within 12 inches. Night Shroud, Astra Militarum unit -1 to hit, just like that other ability that he had from the Horus Heresy. +1 save for a unit. Psychic Maelstrom. That one looks like you're gonna be murdering fools. Select an enemy unit within 18 inches. On a 2+, that unit suffers a mortal wound.
Right.
Unless that mortal wound is negated, you can roll another die. On a 3+, that enemy unit suffers another mortal wound. Continue adding 1 until you fail to cause a mortal wound, or the unit is destroyed.
That works.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then Terrifying Visions. -2 to a unit's leadership. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. And I feel like that definitely represents a like the kind of creepy, terrifying presence of of someone who perceives the warp all the time through their third eye.
Right.
Right? Like, that's kind of where I'm getting at with that.
Yeah, that'd be a good rule set to use, the Astropath.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, and it exists, right? It's a thing that they have, so it's fine.
Yeah,
it works. So like I said, there's a lot more info about the Navigators. Like, you could go in, like, what do you call it? The Fantasy Flight has created like a dozen houses of Navigator houses that you can belong to and stuff. It's crazy.
Oh, I had not looked at that.
Yeah, it's insane. My buddy Pat gave me a bunch of books yesterday. He's just trying to clean out and clear things out. And he's giving stuff away and eBaying some stuff. So he gave me Betrayal, the Horus Heresy 1 book. And he gave me all of Vrax, actually.
Oh, seriously?
Like, I now have Vrax, yeah, so that's pretty sweet. I appreciate. Well, he had them for all the Nurgle stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have any use for that anymore. But I will use it for lore stuff, so that's cool. Yeah. So, and he also gave me the Rogue. Is it the Rogue Trader book?
Okay,
I think it is. I think it's the Rogue Trader role playing game. So that'll be cool to have. You know, just to have so that we can look stuff up. So that'll be cool. Anyways, I don't know. I think this is a fun topic, right? Like, I like that. It's a short episode. Sorry about that, folks, but you know, it's all good. It's lots of good information, and we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come back and close out the show.
Hey mofos, are you looking for more Warhammer 40k video content? Well, the Scarred Cast posts regular battle reports as well as tactics and strategy videos. Be sure to check out all the cool hobby content for the avid tabletop wargamer. That's Scarredcast, SKARED on YouTube. I just want to invite you to Frayed Paintbrush Hobby Progress Facebook group. It is a positive group set up to motivate us to hobby and then share it with all the other members. At the beginning of the month, post up your monthly challenge on the page, and then at the end of the month, you post the completed work for all to see. No pressure, just fun among friends. Once again, that's Frayed, FRAYED Paintbrush. Hope to see you there.
Hey, Masters of the Forge listeners, are you looking to expand your Warhammer 40,000 gaming group?
Do you want to start a 40k club in your area?
Do you want the people you attract to be like-minded mofos?
Do you want to advertise your YouTube channel?
Or even attract more subscribers to your hobby blog or online community?
Then what better way than to advertise on the Masters of the Forge podcast?
All we ask of you is that you email us at mastersoftheforge@gmail.com or message us on Facebook with a full text of your advertisement, including the region in which you live and any contact information people can use to get a hold of you.
We will have one of our many tech servitors read your advertisement on the air. We promise not to make fun of you.
Though we can't always predict the actions of our servitors, you really can't find good help these days.
No, you can't. And we're back. So, Jason.
Yeah?
I'm ready for a nap.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm ready for. I'm probably going to sleep again.
Party?
Too. Huh?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
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 So, I guess real quick, I want to say thanks again to Games Workshop for sending us books.
Yes, thank you.
That's really cool. The Forge Bane box is awesome.
Yes,
we did
it
a
is.
video on that.
Oh, yeah, that's
the video.
right.
Yeah, it's been really tough doing the videos. I really need a better camera, to be honest. It's kind of shitty. But we'll try to do more. We got the Dark Eldar Codex recently, but I suggest you go to the Splinter Mind podcast Facebook page.
Yeah.
And listen to their coverage of the Dark Eldar Codex because they helped playtest it. So
yeah.
So our coverage is going to consist of an Altar of War episode, Tau versus Dark Eldar. It should be fun.
Yeah.
Actually, according to Brian, it won't be fun, but we'll see. It might be fun.
Well,
next week.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? Our guys, Bill and Josh, are going to run a couple of games so they can get used to it, and then to their various codexes, and then do that. So that should be interesting. Hopefully, they won't go through and run the game like Brian believes that they will run it. So.
Next week we're going to do, or the next episode we're going to do Neandors through Troths.
Yep.
Part 2 of our Abhumans. What I think I might do before then, is maybe I will go ahead and look at the, Caradon Overlords line.
Oh.
And actually try to come up with, congruent rules for squats.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. That would
Yeah,
be
I mean,
cool.
it's not going to be balanced at all, people. Just keep that in mind. It is just not. I'm just gonna fart stuff onto a page and hand it over, and you guys can do with it what you will. But yeah, we'll see how that is. All the rules are for the Caradon Overlords are available online, so it's all a matter of 3+ to hit, ballistic skill 3+.
There we go.
4 up save, also 4 up save. 2 up to wound, looks like strength 8 to me. That's basically what we're gonna do, and then assign points. So we'll see how that goes. Actually, power level, screw your points. You come up with your own damn points. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, power level's there to allow you to be kind of more narrative about things. It's not supposed to be used.
And no one's going to play these competitively because they won't be allowed at any tournament.
That's right.
So
it's a homebrew.
Just doing power level is fine. Yeah. So that'll be fun. I just made work for myself. Great. So Jason, until then,
play the game the way you want to.
That's right.
Yeah. Nailed it.
This podcast is protected by the Creative Commons Attribution, No Derivatives, Non-Commercial, International License. More information about this license and contact information if you have any requests can be found at our blog, mastersoftheforge.com. The music used in this podcast was made by Podod of the duo Sublevel 3. The track is used with his permission.
It's such a good feeling to play games your way. It's such a happy feeling 40K'ing away. And when you throw dice with story in mind, it's such a wonderful way to unwind. It's a good feeling, a very good feeling, the feeling you know that we'll be back when the fortnight's new, and we'll have new ideas for you, and you'll have things you'll want to talk about. We will too.